Going live here.
We'll have the topic. We'll have it now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Old Gray Brick's Messy Monday. And we're playing Foursquare today. So it's just the four of us to start with. I think we have some more friends coming in later. Fazoom Jr. is now at driving school.
Which is scary enough as it is.
Yeah, well, let's just say that I've discovered that in the state of Georgia, the cottage industry of driving schools has existed because it is darn hard to get an appointment with the DMV to take your driving test, especially during COVID, because it's scheduled. You have to schedule it like months in advance. And we had one appointment, and we had to go all the way back up to Rome, which is an hour and a half drive to where this thing was. And then I didn't have his birth certificate, so he didn't get to take it then. So now we are just doing a driving school, and he's going to get to take the take the driving test as a part of that. But it's costing me some cash, and but anyway, we're early today. Are we early today? We start at 7.
If anything, we're late from normal.
Okay, Brom, did you test a Brom is saying we're early today. So Brom, have you been testing any time machines or space-time continuum equations today? You may have slipped in. We are a minute early. I guess I did hit it a little bit early. So,
well, it is now 7:01, and we've been on for a minute and 40. So yeah, we were early. We
were 43 seconds early, and Brom is like, "Wow, y'all are early." I love you, Brom. I think you're awesome. All right.
Crazy. Monday if we were a little bit off kilter here.
Yeah. I've been out of pocket for the weekend and everything. Mark is having some microphone issues, so we'll see. Rick and I why didn't I teach him driving myself? I have taught him driving. To get the opportunity to take the test here in the state of Georgia is a scheduling nightmare. So you can sign up for a driving test. He's going to learn some defensive driving and some other safe driving stuff as a part of it. It will reduce my insurance by 20% a month, and that's nice. The outlying of a few $100s, and when I mean a few, I mean 5, will allow me to then get that back over the next 3 years in lowering his insurance. And there's a lot of benefits and everything. Georgia actually has a great law. I know y'all tuned in for DMV talk. Georgia has a great law about some staging, and a lot different than when I got my license. It was like 16, parallel park, and go. I mean, that was pretty much it. So they have a bunch of stuff going on, and a lot of levels and laws, and it makes it safe. So Jake is as a part of that today, which means at 8:30 I've got to leave to go pick him up. So nothing more exciting than the DMV. Hey, you could be in line at the DMV and it would be even worse. So I appreciate you guys tuning in today. Hopefully Mark gets his mic situated, which worked well until I showed up. And so, there you go. So how are you guys doing today? What y'all up to? Rich, what you up to?
More sorting. I got I got all of my IKEA recycling bins fully sorted into here, and I got a couple more of my larger recycling bins sorted into there. And tonight, I've decided that I'm going to not sort or do anything except build that.
Ah, yes. Cool.
So that and got my second shot today. So I'm fully vaccinated. So if you want to visit me and you're fully vaccinated, it's we're in Pennsylvania. You could, if you know me, you can get a hold of me. I'll even let you.
You're supposed to wait like 2 weeks, though, right?
Oh yeah, 2 weeks from now. You're not going to plan on coming tomorrow anyway. Come on.
I can get in the car, but anyway. Brom waited 18 to get. Oh wow, cool. No test. I got you. That's cool.
I had to wait too.
Hey Chantel, good to have you here. Monkey Kid.
I think I waited till I was 18 to get my driver's license because I didn't have a car, so I didn't have a reason to get one.
So my parents just wouldn't do it. They're like, no, you just do what you want to do when you're 18. I was like, okay, I'll do it.
I don't know about you, but I smell a Canadian.
Smelling some bacon?
I smell bacon. I definitely smell a pork product of some.
It's the smell of defeat.
By the way, I've watched Clyde with a Chance of Meatballs a lot. I love that movie. But the fact that that whole movie hinges on a single pun that he says at the very beginning of the movie, and he completes it at the end. He says he looked square at defeat and figured out the answer, is what he says at the very beginning. And he looked at his feet and saw the spray stuff, and that was the solution to stopping the thing. That whole movie has a dad joke front to end. I stared anyway, and I was like, oh my goodness. So I can't wait to watch the Mitchells versus the Machines. Those guys, I've heard, have made another good movie. So with that, our clean. It's very clean.
I now have a second Maddie figure.
Yay!
That's the one where she pulls yet another scam all over the Lego store employee.
Yeah, that's her swooning dress where she walks in and going, hello.
Free bag of Lego that I just
Oh, me. Maddie needs to join us. I hope she does here later. There we go. Wink.
Yes. Hey, everybody. I just got a new.
Maddie, wink at me. You can have the old great break. You can have it. That's fine. Feel free to join us. A lot of you have the link. It's good to have y'all. So Rich has said that he's got his COVID shot today. I hope you don't feel. Did you get Pfizer? Pfizer, what you got?
Pfizer.
Yeah. I felt kind of cruddy after the second Pfizer, but it was just a day.
Mine's not even going. Nah.
Yeah.
Apparently, the cheap, sloppy seconds craft they've been doling out here for most people have been the AstraZeneca, and a lot of my friends have had it, and the like after the first dose of that is like a donkey punch in the nards. Like these guys are out for like 2 days. And but apparently for the Pfizer, it's like the reverse, right? That the first one's easy, but the second one is nasty.
What we did is we put dinner in the crock pot before we left, and just in case we didn't feel good, and it was delicious, and we ate it, and we still had taste buds. It was awesome.
So did you have donkey in the crock pot?
Close to it. It was a pot roast.
I thought it was a euphemism for something. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought
for the second one in the crock pot, just put nothing but straight NyQuil, and then you'll be good.
And then drink it with the purple umbrella in the glass.
That's good. No, we not seeming to feel it. Tomorrow's another day. We'll see how we feel tomorrow. I plan on being down here and sorting out maybe a couple of let's see over here, a couple of these things.
Wheels.
There's a stack of them. I got a couple of those.
Wheels.
I don't know why I was worried about my microphone quality.
Yours is good now.
Yours is fine. Yours is fine compared to mine.
Oh, that's awesome. Let's see. Had Pfizer, terrible headache second day, a little tired. Yeah, I got really tired. It felt like, the onset of flu starting, and then it just kind of faded out. So I think it affects everybody differently. Let's check in with our great Canadian here. How you doing, man? What's going on in your world?
Not too much. I've been cleaning up the nerd cave here, so I've kind of made a promise to myself. Yeah, don't start anything new until you've cleaned up all your crap. So I've been just kind of working away on that. You kind of see behind me here in the other way. Yeah, so clearing some space off of the shelves. Some stuff here. Space. And a whole bunch of stuff below there. I mean, there's some stuff like which I've sort of accumulated for photography and that, which I'm realizing that I'm probably not going to use. So getting ready to sell a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
And on the Lego side, I've got like just 2 huge tubs, like those giant bathtub sized tubs of stuff that's left over from the Lego Sit City. Hey, Daddy.
Wait. You can't show up. You can't show up into a chat with a bunch of old dudes and have scissors.
That's right.
Snap. That does not communicate very
Yeah,
well.
yeah, that's right. It's like, what is this, a breast?
I was going to say, would it communicate with a bunch of teenage boys, or I don't know.
Actually, it also makes me.
done. You know?
It makes me think of Brutus the Barber Beefcake from WWE days with his scissors and everything. Anyway, go ahead. So yeah, cleaning up, selling some stuff. What you got going on?
Yeah. So just kind of like getting ready to do like a huge sort and starting to sort of feel a little bit of on a minuscule scale of Rich's pain, but I think I may have to buy some more storage. So yeah.
Gotcha. That's always a pain. I got some storage down the hall that I haven't used yet, but I'm like, I've got to clean some stuff up and make some space to put the bins in here and then put the stuff in it. So
now that's the things. I know that some of you guys, like, you know, you'll have brick stored that isn't necessarily in drawers, so you can't necessarily get to it on demand, right?
well, I have tires, but that's
Okay.
who needs tires? It's Jeff. How you doing, Jeff?
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Jeff.
Good to have you here, Jeff.
How are y'all?
Jeff has a cool camera angle now. I like it.
Hello.
I can see more of Jeff. And
Yeah.
anyway, everybody sit uncomfortably and cross your legs because Maddie has scissors. Maddie, how are you doing today?
Well, Chris, I'm just saying you're halfway there.
I've been working diligently trying to cut these things for all the storage containers I bought, and it's not been fun. Definitely.
That's some snacks. Do you have snacks there?
Yeah, this is my mystery China juice. It's delicious.
Oh, that sounds safe.
It's like a giant juice box, and there's a lady on it who's telling me to drink more of it. So it's pretty good.
And COVID begins again.
Coconut. It's pretty delicious.
Wait. I want to know what other flavors it could be. And
I don't know. I mean, there's one that's got like, it's kind of like purplish, but I think it's taro root.
it's flavored purple.
I don't know. I used to drink it all the time in China, and I turned out just fine. So,
Do they have one that tastes like authoritarianism?
They're listening.
Womp, womp.
It tastes like
We're
burning.
not on TikTok. We don't have to worry.
That's right.
Well, Maddie, so you're making more storage. What is this storage for? Is it for brick or what's it for?
Let me go grab one. I decided that I kind of am enjoying the Minifig Life, so I started.
You don't choose
storing
Minifig Life. The
minifigs.
Minifig Life chooses you.
That's right. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it chose me, and then they were super cheap, so I bought 8 of them. Yeah, and they're all down there hanging out.
Well, are those the ones you were saying on Jeff's stream? You were afraid of them being like discontinued, so you just clean them all out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's happening with them. Like they're originally tackle boxes from Walmart,
Right.
and I like the dark red color, so it's like, oh my god, I have to get all of them that I can. And I'm thinking about ordering some more of them, but the only problem is that they're horrible for bricks. Do you know what I'm saying? Like once you put the section piece in there, and you try to scoop bricks out, like it just goes into the other.
Yeah.
Perfect
True.
for minifigs.
That's what I use for figure parts. Same thing, kind of thing. Yeah, because they're for Lego. I remember being, like maybe I don't know 12 or something like that, and there was something similar to that, And I think it took about one Saturday morning and 3 Pop-Tarts to realize, hey, I'm just dumping this whole thing on the floor every time.
Yeah, sounds about right.
It's Matt. Hello, Matt. Did you have a good nap?
What time is it?
What year is it?
What year is it? Yes. I'm like Rumpelstiltskin here.
Matt texted said, I just woke up from a nap. Did you have one of those naps where you wake up and you're like really thirsty and you've drooled off the side of your mouth and you don't know what day it is? Is that kind of nap?
Ooh, math day nap.
I am pretty consistently a nap drooler, so but not this time. So
gotcha.
But I was dressed for the occasion.
At least.
We're like a cult. I love it. Hey, Maddie, I was going to show you something I got, and I don't know where I got them, and I wish I knew where because I would get more. But I have these, and what's cool about these is each drawer is curved.
Oh, that's good.
Oh.
And you can rake out the parts really easy in these, and they are adjustable with little things.
Nope.
I wish I could find these again, and I do not know where I got them, but they're
Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight.
Are they
Step up your game.
Harbor Freight store sells those.
And do you know what those are? My mom used to have them. They're for
Embroidery
those,
cloth.
the beads, you know,
Oh.
the beading stuff. Please don't say something about my mom and beads, Dana. I know you're heading that way, but just
not.
No. Actually, if I'm thinking ahead of time of what I want to say today, I was waiting for both you and Matthew to be here to show off the shirt that my wife gave me in preparation for the May the 4th week holiday. And I think you, of all people, because you had to send it to all of us, will appreciate this.
Yeah, time out. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
How have I not seen that before?
Yes, everybody Gil sent at me the picture of the Lego AT-AT taking a poop, and it's actually Jabba the Hutt. It looks like a pile. And of course, I was tasteless enough to share it with others who immediately go, "Oh yeah, Greg's already sent that to me like 10 minutes ago." So thank you for that.
Yeah. I think that my work is done here. So.
You know what, Gil? Everybody's got to have a purpose, and you are fulfilling yours, my friend.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. The bottom of the barrel would be a lonely place without me.
Let's see. Chantal Bricks is here. I didn't even acknowledge. Adrian is here. Entrizada was the first one. Jeff McElwee is here, and there. Brickenham's Den is here. Good to have you. Brickenizer is here. Let's see who else here. Matt Robbins is here in our chat. Good group here. Jeff Van Winden is in our chat, hoping to join us later and everything. So they're talking about Brom officially with Logic says that Harbor Freight and Home Depot comes with the curved corners. So I highly recommend the curved corners. They're really good.
So the funny thing about it is I didn't think of that when I bought them, but then when they all started showing up, my mom was like, "What do you need all these for, your embroidery floss?" Because she used to store her needles and stuff and something like this. But
so anyway, all right, Maddie, it's good to have you here. I'm sorry, I can't believe you're having to actually cut the dividers up. Mine would just snap apart. So
I know, and I looked for these wire cutters, and they turned out horribly. So I'm just going to stick with the scissors.
I got you. Well, it'll build your hand strength, right? That'll be good. All right, let's see. Spinning around the room here.
Oh, Rich's wiener has gone gangrene.
I know.
Speaking of gangrene,
Gangrene wieners. Who knew?
Never mind. Actually, that would be Kevin Hinkle's appendix you got right there.
Right. You need to go up a side of those Jordashes.
That's right. And by the way, if you don't know, Kevin Hinkle had an acute appendicitis. It actually did rupture before they got it out, but they got it out right there, and so he's okay. He's resting at home. I'm pretty sure he's not listening because he's not doing the Lego streams. But if you are, Kevin, we really appreciate what you have done for the community. You do for the community, and we hope you get well soon. I did swap Facebook messages with him today, and he was having to sit on his rear end, and he doesn't do that very well, but he's got to. So
Man, that was really fast. Like I just saw him online like a couple days ago.
Yeah, he was on. He did his stream, and then like an hour later, all of a sudden he started feeling bad, and that evening he was at the hospital. So,
oh wow,
yeah. So we're glad that he's better. We, for those of us who are praying, those of us who hope and wish and all that stuff, we hope you get better soon, Kevin.
So the life lesson is listen to your body, people.
Well, I do after Taco Bell, but that's a different story.
is drink your mystery coconut.
Oh,
medicine.
I need to still send Gil the picture that I sent our chat this morning. The walking away from something you've blown up. I need to. I'm 13. All right, here we go. Let's talk about 13. Let's go to Jeff. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. How's it going in your world?
Same old, same old.
You look like you're building a Batmobile.
Yeah, I'm working on an old mock because I don't know how to finish new mocks. So yeah, just working on a little Batmobile type thing, and I put a roof on her and everything else. But I wanted to show you guys my rover.
Yes, let's see your rover.
I made this awesome rover. It's got a light feature. It's got everything you could possibly need.
All right, let's see your rover.
Womp, womp, womp.
That's
Is
nice.
that the blaster?
What was that?
Is it a blaster, the barrel?
Oh, no. Oh, God, what fell? The barrel is just a barrel to haul stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
I believe that's where you keep the leprosy.
Exactly.
It's an area effect.
Well, I'm working on the end, so I was like, it needs like
infected rats.
You guys want to see the progress on the end?
Yes.
All right.
Did you figure out the roof?
I did, but I didn't apply it yet.
Oh.
Yeah, no. So we got the side here with the inside of the chimney there.
Nice.
We got a connector brick up top here so I can just keep it secure while I'm building. And then we got that for the foliage on the side. And
you got a good start on those Megaforce colors.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, the look of disgust.
And the Megaforce striping too. That's really nice.
So where are you gonna put the rockets?
Bend over and I'll show you.
Hello, Ben. How are you?
Oh, we got this going on pretty well. Con!
Oh man, you did it. I was going to do that myself. I was going to get everybody to do it, but it's okay.
Yeah, but yeah, it's coming along nicely. It's taking forever, and I keep hitting roadblocks. And then Maddie was kind enough to be like, "Hey, dummy, use this," and I went, "I should." So
my son plays a lot of Roblox.
He needs to tell the nursing home that you guys escaped.
Jeff, I mean, you have to know when you walk into this chat room.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah, you know where this is going, brother.
Oh,
you know.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not an idiot. I know that. You guys are as vile as I am. You just try to dad it up. Chris.
Not me. Yeah. I don't know what that means.
Did we not have this discussion last week when you weren't here? That
I heard that discussion on the car ride on the way home, and it's not me all the time. It's also this one to my caddy corner right here.
Oh, so. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, yes, like I'm definitely there to run it across, like, the goal line. But yeah, you're punting that thing like basically the 130 yards right down the field.
Although let's share credit. Usually Matthew is the one with the dad jokes. So
yeah.
He has been the token dad joker, and then Chris is usually the one who holds out the baseball or the softball or the football, and the rest of us all just line up to kick it or hit it. Because I guess that makes us lemmings in some way, shape, or form, because we just go trotting after whatever Chris throws out there, and we're like, yeah, we'll chase that with a stick.
Yeah, imagine being my son. Anyways. I've told y'all the story about me telling him a joke and saying, "Do not tell this joke," and he told that joke and got in trouble, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is, it's a 50-50 parenting win, parenting fail, all at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, his buddies thought it was hilarious. His teacher, however, did not. So
Oh.
Yeah, she's got a stick stuck up or something.
Did Jake tell them, hey, my pastor dad told me this joke?
Yeah.
No,
'Cause that would
they
have
know
been
what
awesome.
I do. I just said, well, just tell him your Uncle Steve told you, because that would make more sense. Actually, that's who I heard it from to begin with. So,
Well, I can honestly
Is Uncle
tell
Steve
you.
also a pastor?
So,
no, he's a deacon, which is worse. But
I was gonna say we just trumped up the charges.
that's right.
I can honestly tell you that, like, when we were teens, like the one PK that was in the crowd, man, he was always like the first one thrown in the back of the squad car, and like the last one being turfed out of the bar with the coat hitting him in his face. So, yeah.
yeah, I used to party with a pastor's kid. He was really into drugs.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah. Okay, we weren't quite that far into the woods, but yeah.
Yeah.
Is your
Well,
cat
I mean-
licking you?
The funny thing, the thing about me is, especially with jokes like that, is I always, the pun comes easy to my, or whatever, the connection, and I can't not tell it. So I need to, but anyway.
I'd like to see
a
what
little bit it's like a mild form of Tourette's for you, I think.
I'd really like to see what a sermon is like. Like how many times you've ever said something and realized what you said and you went, yeah.
I was preaching at a guest church one time, and I noticed Mel was trying to get my attention. No, I was preaching at it was at a church. It was the first time I talked to this whatever, and Mel's trying to get my attention, and she was trying to tell me something, but I literally was like, "Is a zipper down or whatever?" I mean, what is she trying to tell me? So, and everybody, and I just thought it'd be funny to tell. So I was like, "Yeah, Mel's trying to get my attention," and I thought, was the barn door open or something? And everybody laughed, but Mel was like, I cannot believe you said that in front of everybody. So.
Well, Chris, I think you know my friend Ted, who runs the church up north here, right?
Yeah.
Well, we've always joked, and this was well before he was involved with the church, but especially now that his wife, who is an absolute sweetheart, just like Mel, their unofficial role is basically your PR and damage control person. From whatever you say, when you're behind the pulpit, or even worse, when you're not behind the pulpit and you don't think the mic's on. Like, yeah. Oh
yeah. Mel lives in constant fear if I'm ever speaking publicly of like, oh my, what am I going to have to?
Chris.
Oh man, I'm about to be on bag 9, but anyway. So
in your defense, and in my reason of having gotten through bags 5 through 13 today, is that I had from 10:30 till 4 o'clock. I was on back to back conference calls. So I was stuck at my desk, couldn't really do much of anything but listen. So I got a lot of Lego building time done.
Actually, that what was going through my mind when I was, on Instagram throughout the day, and I see your updates, right? The first thing that went through my mind is Dana's in a lot of calls today.
That's exactly it. One of the perks of working from home.
for those who run live streams and can talk while they do this, I don't know how, because I'm talking to y'all and I'm going back and I've got like 10 extra parts laying around. I'm like, I don't know where these go. So I'm having to go back. I can't build and talk at the same time.
I was curious to see how you were doing because it's a challenge to talk and look at instructions at the same time. Especially when it's a bigger build like this. Now you're starting to look forward to, the 4+ instructions that have a part per page.
Right.
That's because our conversation is so complex that you really have to.
Hey. Potty humor is still humor, and you still got to work it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Is it proof that then that men can't multitask? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
That's entirely possible.
It is quite true.
Maybe-
Especially ADHD men.
Ooh.
What?
Especially ADHD men.
Squirrel. What?
That what wasn't that he didn't hear you. The what was.
He was
can
distracted.
multitask because I'm sitting here building this lion set, and I'm also thinking about the picture that's on Maddie's drink. So,
Hold that up to the camera, Maddie.
All right, it's definitely documented because most Asian women.
I didn't know Princess Leia did that cover shoot.
She's pretty, she's fine.
That is the most awkward hand pose for a product placement ever.
Actually, you know
if
what?
I did that pose,
Visually edited.
I think she dislocated her elbow to do that.
I think actually that the drink is made from the liquefied remains of the woman. That's why she's on the front.
Chris, you have to stretch out your boob more when you do that position.
No, I'm already a B cup. I don't need to go any higher. So let's see. Oh, hey, there's Martin. Martin, how are you?
Hey, Martin.
Hey, Martin.
Hello. Oh no, I'm playing multiple streams. There we go.
Martin.
There we go. Hello. I had it playing, and here I got really confused. Like, why is no one being quiet? Why are they all talking? And there we are. Hello, everyone. Happy May the 4th Eve.
Yes,
right.
happy May the 4th to you too, sir.
Yes. Early doors on that. So.
Hey, let me acknowledge some folks in the chat. Mathley Farm is here. That's Neil. I had lunch with Neil today, and he brought me the 3-in-1 pirate ship that he got at Costco for me for $50, and I'm excited to get that ship or that boat, and I'm looking forward to building that. That's fun. Let's see. Mr. Blue is here. How you doing, buddy? Brick Blaze is here. Hey, man, how are you? I probably won't be on your show tonight because I got to go pick up Jake from driving school. Mr. Blue, it's good to have you here. I think I hit Brett's Bills is here. How you doing, man? Good to see you. I don't know. This is from Twitch, but it's probably a robot. But it's called Doo-Doo Diver. So how are you doing, Doo-Doo Diver? Good to have you here. And you're with friends. So, anyway. All right. Brian Pennebaker, good to have you here. Everything good deal. All right, so who have we checked in on today? Let's see. Martin just left.
I just
there he
want
is.
to say that it's now. This is the May. That's what we're doing now.
This is the May.
This is the May.
That's right.
I love it.
I like that a lot.
All right, let's go to Sleeping Beauty Matt. Hi, Matt, how are you today?
I'm yawning because I just woke up from my unplanned 6:25 to 7:11 nap time. But so my Lego World. I joined many of you at the Lego store on Saturday.
You did?
I did.
What?
I did. Some of you were there.
Were
Most
people at the
most
Lego
of you
store
were
on
there.
Saturday?
Was it Saturday? What year was that? I don't know. But I just want to say how excited I am to get The Martian.
Oh.
But the full series went a case 3 ways with a couple of our local lug members.
Oh, cool.
What I don't understand is why Bugs and Tweety didn't get actual physical tails like all the other animals in the series. But anyways,
That was a criticism on the Brickset and Brickset New Elementary reviews.
Yep.
I think they kind of cheaped out. I mean, for crying out loud, they did this little muff tail on the back of Daffy here.
Well, they already had that element, so they could.
What did that come in before? I don't remember.
The Disney ones.
Donald Duck, yeah.
Yeah. Donald, Uncle Scrooge, and the Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Yeah.
The other thing that arrived.
Cat's breathing so heavily. Holy cow.
The other thing that arrived Saturday was bricks and pieces orders, and these are quite useful. That's the first one I've gotten of these 1x1s with the Technic pin. So I got one in each color, and I don't know if these. I think these are new, but the translucent antenna.
Is that trans black?
That's trans black.
Is that trans yellow as well? Or is that
It's trans yellow.
really?
It's kind of a
No,
neon.
that can't be trans yellow.
That's trans neon yellow.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
And then the pale blue. So again, I'm a parts fiend, so new parts, gotta have them. And then these are some other cool ones. The underbows in light lime, sand green, dark green, and dark orange.
How much are those per piece? The under ones.
I don't remember.
Oh.
And then I got a bunch of these paddle in pieces. I have no idea what I'm going to do with them, but
What color is that, Matt?
light gray.
Oh, nice.
Oh, BDSM shop next to Bob's Burgers.
Well, I was actually thinking they would be an architectural detail.
Oh,
Thank you, Jeff.
And half diagonal cut tiles in lime green, tan, yellow, and sand green. So
Nice.
Those are nice. I like them.
and
The cat's so fascinating.
she's upset because at 7 she normally gets fed, but I was asleep on the couch and I came straight in here and I didn't feed her. So she's reminding me that she's gonna die if there's not food like very soon. So this is not genuine affection. This is, hey, I'm right here and I'm starving.
Better feed me before something bad happens.
I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry. And then I also picked up the 2 new helmets and the probe droid. And I have to say, as we stood in a longer than expected line to get into the Lego store, I was genuinely surprised that the probe droid wasn't the thing that sold out first, because from my perspective, it was like the first time Legos really made this, and it was the thing I was most excited about. And the R2, three-dimensional R2 was a remake of something that was available not that many years ago.
Right.
But no, that R2D2, it just flew off the shelves. So one of the things that I always enjoyed when I worked at a Lego store was seeing what sold versus what my thoughts about what I thought would sell and what actually did sell, because those two groups do not always match up.
Right. Like my prediction that Ninjago was the stupid, it's not going to last long. And, that was my prediction. So
it does give me a little bit of empathy for when Lego miscalculates how many sets to roll out for the initial wave, because if I were just, if that was my official job at Lego was guesstimate the initial demand, I would have messed up quite a few times already.
So, don't you think that that's part of the reason why, for example, the new helmets and the Pro Droid got a pre-order option to gauge people's interest of how many to roll out?
Could be.
And maybe that's why the Pro Droids weren't flying off the shelf as fast, because the pre-orders were taken account for, and then they upped it a little bit to make sure they had them covered.
But the factory volume was set way in advance of pre-order. So it's not like they turned around and were like, oh yeah, whip out another 100,000 units of that for Friday.
No. Yeah, I agree that, but at least then each store definitely got what was pre-ordered. And
Fair
therefore, that initial demand was at that store. So maybe there's some, because I know in some markets, some stores do well for certain themes versus others. So it was easier, that way they can allocate appropriately. I don't know. I'm guessing there.
And they had the first wave of helmets. They could have looked at how quickly those sold. So if the Stormtrooper helmet, sold X number of units in the first week, that would give them a yardstick to at least, figure out their first.
Your hand up.
I have a question.
yes.
Is anyone selling their promo, their May the 4th promo? You're selling it? Really? Because I want that micro build.
Well, I let Mel know about me buying the $200 R2 Sunday at church in front of the kids. So she looked at me. She played it up, but she's like, "What?" And so I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to sell off the things I got for free and hopefully offset that." And she's like, "Whatever," and it was okay. So,
Did you get 2 or 1?
I got 1.
I don't think it's okay, Chris.
It's not.
You got 2? Well, if you're looking to offload it, I'm interested, because I didn't realize there's these cute micro builds.
Have you not seen the other cute micro builds from prior years?
No, and then I looked up the old cute micro builds, like the Battle of Endor one, and all the other ones.
And then there was the Death Star 2 chase scene. Yeah,
I think there was like 4. Was there 4 total now?
This one made it 4.
Yeah.
So this was the fourth one.
The Battle of Endor one is going for like $100. There's no way I can get that one.
I just want to interrupt. I want to interrupt real quick and say that one of the things that Paul and I laugh about now is click skis. We like
Shouldn't that be in Cyrillic characters, anyways? Click skis.
Maybe.
They have your click skis here.
I think it's Polish. And Polish uses the Roman.
Let's see. We hadn't talked with Martin. Martin, what's going on with you today, buddy?
Hey, sorry, I realized I wasn't on mute, and I'm click-seeing away over here. So, yeah, I just thought I'd stop in when we're talking about the cat is going to kill you because I haven't fed. Again, same thing. My kids haven't been fed, or my wife, and I think it's my turn to feed everyone, so it won't be a long visit. But yeah, I'm working on my May the 4th build. I'm finishing it up. I think I started it here months ago, so my Jabbas Palace. So I took a few hours on conference calls today and did a bunch of work. I was going to show you where we're at on it. So
Nice.
This is where we're at. So I did all of this today during conference calls. So I built it before, right? And I've changed some of it up. These are the little grill pieces. I'm trying to figure out how to set everyone up, but you really can't see very well, but I've added like little door here for the, is it Malachi, I think is his name. I can't remember what his name is. So I didn't have that little play feature thing coming out.
Awesome.
And then I've made the trapdoor work better as well. Oh, let's see if I can move Jabba out. I might just put dude on there. Although he's going to get stuck because he's got his weapons with him. He will get stuck. Let's send Boba down there. You can see it. Go on, Boba. Down you go. There you go. Nick smell.
Nice.
And then I made a little gate as well. So I've been working on this, and I'm trying to finish it up today, if I can. But I've got a question on official. I want to use an official Lego part, but I want to know if this is official because it really, really helps. So I'm in my brown bin, and I've got all these brown pieces that are the perfect angles for what I want, and I can use broken Lego, right? That counts.
Yes.
Yes, you can. It pains us all, but yes, you can.
There's so much of it, and look. So I've been trying to buy more of these pieces, but this is exactly what I need, and it was free. So I'm about to litter this build with broken Lego everywhere.
You're a Lego customizer.
I am a Lego. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know if it's officially modding it or cutting pieces, or if it's how the piece was originally designed to be, which is how I feel. But I can't figure out how to set up the scene, right? So for those of you that do like Star Wars, and some of you don't, I like this one because we get Slave Leia sitting here, and then Rancor's eating the. I heard the hay eating Ula at that scene, but then I also love when she comes in as this and she's walking in with Chewbacca, but then she's not up here. So I don't know what people's favorite scene is, but I want to set it as the best one. Do we want Slave Leia or do we like Bosch? It's just badass, really.
I think I like it when Luke walks in, personally, when he's coming down the stairs and you see his shadow. So Slave Leia's got to be there.
So is that, but when he's coming, when Booster's coming down the stairs with Chewie, Slave Leia's not there, is she? So it's like you can't have both at the same time.
Right.
And it's like the challenge that I'm facing with this whole build. I'm like, I need to build another one just so I can have two scenes of the same thing, because you want both of them. They're pretty cool.
Martin, if that means that you build more Star Wars things or just build more in general, yeah, you should totally do that.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see, that's for sure. And then I also got so my Quidditch is finished, but I'm boxing it all up right now. But I say it's finished, but for those that like Harry Potter, I've got some really cool Harry Potter news that people might not know, right? So you can get, at the moment, you can get the you can get all the Quidditch figures, right? So you've got not Hufflepuff, you've got Slytherin and Gryffindor that you can buy, right? You can buy those figures for a couple of bucks a piece. So I think I showed somewhere, I bought a bunch of the yellow Quidditch uniforms that come from Diagon Alley, and I got those for about $1 a piece. I kind of cleared out this place in Europe. Now they're about $8 a piece, so I was kind of pleased about that. But but yellow capes are really tough. So I'm trying to figure out, I can get like little yellow Batman capes and put them under here and have a little bit of color. But I got all of these, and I just got my Ravenclaws in today. So I need a couple more Ravenclaws, so I've got to set those up. So it's the same thing, but they're not cheap anywhere. But they're coming out with this really cool little Quidditch book. I think it's June the 1st, and you'll be able to get a little Hufflepuff Quidditch player, and it's got like all the little characters in. It's got the whole teams out. So I found that like on the dark web. I thought it's kind of exciting because you can also get, if any of you looked at full length yellow capes anywhere, they're really expensive. And if you got needs, they're like $8-9 at minimum for a cape. And if you want a lot, they're a lot of money. And then the torsos are expensive as well. So when you see those books come out, probably at Costco as well, or the bookstore, you might want to get a hold of them because no one's had these guys.
If you wanted to kind of really go off reservation, you could actually you can order the material online and trace your own and cut them out. All different colors.
So I like that spongy material. Is it the spongy capes?
No, it's the more stiff, starchy ones.
Okay, so I think that maybe what I have here, I may have done this on a black one, but that takes so much finessing and little bits of work to get it right. It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
So if people can do that, that's good. And I'm like, time is money. I'm like, the amount of time it would take me to do it. There's a guy in England, I think, who sells them capes for minifigs or something like that. I could always look at that. But anyway, Martin, so that's what's going on here.
Martin, there's also Jabbas Panda here in Toronto. They used to do custom capes.
Oh, really?
So you might want to look them up. Jabbas Panda.
Jabbas Panda. Okay, yeah. I'll have a look at that.
They're a little closer, at least.
I've always been curious. VW, is that for Volkswagen? Bricks?
No, it's my last name, Van Winden.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
No,
all
it's
right.
okay.
We won't talk about VWs then.
I've had a few people contact me on Bricklink, like when they're ordering stuff from me, and they're like, "Do you own a Volkswagen dealership?"
I'm so common with that question. So
no, it's not that. It's just I've had it all my life.
You probably heard that as much as "You're from Alabama." What?
That's right. That's right.
Well, actually, maybe just before Martin runs off to make his bangers and mash for the family stuff. Did you get a chance to look at the castle reveal this week?
Yeah. I think I saw more pictures come out today on it. First glance, I looked at it and I was like, oh, that's not very good. That's what I thought in my mind, which isn't fair to the designer who's built it. And, everyone who's Lego who's like, I'm going to give people the castles because they want castles. And then I sat there and looked at it a little bit more. I was like, the way it's been built is like the old style, like the King's Fortress, right, which is what I want. So they've made it playable. The pictures don't do it justice, I don't think, on the box, because I think it's really cool, actually. And I'll definitely be getting that. And I think, and again, everyone's always dissatisfied, right? You hear more dissatisfaction than satisfaction, I think, these days. And maybe that's because Lego have such high standards. So living here in Alabama, like Alabama football fans are always so mad if they don't win the football championship by like 40 points. Like they're disappointed. And that's, when we've got it good, we get really disappointed sometimes. But I think so mainly because people look at it and like, I don't get that many figures, or the colors aren't how I want the colors. Well, you can change the colors if you want to.
Yeah.
And I couldn't imagine Lego really putting out like a full light, just light gray, light bluish gray castle set. Like the kids aren't going to want that. They're going to want the stuff that pops up all sorts of kids, boys and girls, and me. So I like it. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was like, again, you have to sort of like go back to where the inspiration's from, because a lot of people are saying like, oh, well, the scale is too small. I said, well, you've taken a look at the Yellow Castle and the ones from the 80s and 90s. They're roughly the same scale. Mm-hmm. So, and I think the thing that was kind of cool about it, like you said, is that rather than just having a gray cube, they did the paddle wheel, they did, the forge, they've got some other stuff going on there, which I thought was kind of neat. But I think one thing that was sort of really interesting is, and I think it was Jangrix, I can't remember who I was watching, but they were taking a look at the back of it, and they said, it looks like it's been constructed that if you do buy two, to increase the height of the wall, it's not overly complex. It looks like around the bottom, like if you add in, 2 or 3 more layers of brick, you'll get the scale that you want without having to totally redesign the whole thing. And if that, in fact, is the case, that's pretty awesome fan service.
That is great.
So and then look at the pirate ship, right? The classic one that Chris just got for $50 from Costco, which is where I'm about to run to once I've fed my heart. I might get my kids pizza, $2 pizza from Costco.
They vary.
That might we'll see if they're there or not. But I've seen people do 2 ships of that, and it looks great, right? And that ship, I think, if we trust in what's come out before, and that was done really nicely. I've got Barracuda Bay sitting here, and I haven't opened that one. The Creator pirate boat, because I've read so many reviews that it was really, really good. I'm like, I want that for a day where I just want to sit down and build and not think, because I think I really, really enjoy it. But so there's a story when I've been digging out videos of some Star Wars builds. I'm going to share something tomorrow, and I don't have any videos. They're all on the brick. I've got no videos of my builds. But the first Endor build I did, which was in 2015, and we took it up to Virginia. So that started by doing the Endor UCS or non-UCS set. I built one of those, or my son built it. Then, we got 2 or 3 and kind of expanded it and made it bigger. And we're sitting there at the show, and I'm kind of new to the Lego hobby. And Marcus Besser, who I guess he's one of the Lego designers, he did Diagon Alley. He came over there and he started talking to me. I didn't know who he was. And he said, yeah, I designed this set. I said, oh, cool. I said, we really like it. We've enjoyed it. And this is what he's done. He's like, I like to see that. And he says, you've done exactly how I wanted this set to be. He said, I wanted this set to be able to be built like this. He said, I went to Lego and said, I need on the back, hey, +1, +2, like you would, if you buy 3 of these sets, this is what you can do with it. And he said, Lego said, no way are we ever going to ask anyone to spend $900 to get something that's in a picture. But it's really cool, because I wonder how many of the designers do that and think, you know what, this is what I'm building within this constraint, but 2 of these sets, and I've done it.
Yeah. Wait. Did Martin freeze?
Did I freeze?
You did. You're back.
I'm no longer frozen. It wasn't relevant. It wasn't important what I was talking about. I was about to go off on some feel-good thoughts. So anyway, so to answer the question, I like the castle. I think it's good, and I'm sure I'll get one. So. Yeah.
Well, and the other thing you're considering about that castle, with all the 3-in-1s, there's a dual purpose. It actually is more the purpose of the sets we grew up with is you're supposed to build something else other than what's on the front of the box.
Yeah.
And so they have to build that with a selection of parts that then is additionally useful to build something else. So to be able to do that and make a good main model is actually pretty amazing. So,
and one thing that's cool about that is, I think it was Jang was saying this too, is that the alt model of the tower is really awesome on that. Yeah. If you were to combine the castle and the tower, if you had 2 sets, look
together. So that talks to the back of this, right? So this was the very last Lego set I got as a kid. It was for my 11th birthday, and I was embarrassed to tell anyone about it. So I was sitting at a school assembly at 11, and I told a guy, Thomas Fern, I said, I got Lego for my birthday. He said, that's cool. Then we both probably got beaten up later on that day for it. This is the original one. Probably happened. But anyway, so I remember vividly this one here. I remember building that and trying to do this fire station up here. I've got to watch my fingers again. So trying to do the fire station, because that's the way it works. But I'm trying to get all of my childhood sets, I've said that before, and boxes. And then I feel like I've, got the keys to the kingdom or something. If I've got 5 sets to get, I've got 2 of them at the moment. So, but anyway, I love the back of the box. You're right. All right, I'm done. Feed time for the children, maybe in a minute. I haven't been called yet.
I would love it if a hungry child came in and just started biting on your arm and go, Dad, I'm hungry.
That would be good. The other one would be Andrea rolling in here and just going absolutely mental and breaking all my Lego and said, feed the kids. That would probably be even better.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So, of course, the only space that we got in the new 3-in-1 is another shuttle. But if you actually look through that shuttle, it actually has some really cool parts in it. like that 5 tall macaroni brick is in white, and that's very useful. So we got to do what we got to do for space. But yes, I like seeing the classic themes in the 3-in-1. I don't know about y'all.
Yep.
And
if that's how we get space, that's how we get space.
I'm in, and it's buildable and rebuildable. So
you know what I was really hoping they would do for the space 3-in-1, the next like this one is obviously we've got so many shuttles now. I would love if they did one of those like Boeing conceptual space planes or something. That'd be so cool, right? It'd be awesome.
I think so.
Well, you know why we got another micro space, or why we got a Creator 3-in-1 space shuttle, and why there's a Duplo space shuttle, right?
Anniversary of something or something.
Well, because if you're going to do UCS space shuttle for Dad to play with, and the kids are going to want to play with it, you might as well put out a space shuttle for you can buy the kids to play with too.
True. Yeah,
true.
I hate when my whole Lego logic comes into play, and it actually makes sense.
That's the game.
Did anyone see the Minion sets?
Yes.
I saw them at Target, and I was kind of a little shooketh because the one comes with red bananas.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like a Chinese style temple, and to do the roof technique, they used inverted bananas.
Cool.
So,
Is that maybe one of the flavors of your juice box? Red banana?
You beat me to it. Yeah.
Perhaps.
Let's see. All right, let's check out Mr. Van Winden, by the way. How are you, man? Good to have you here.
I am good. I just realized I really need to shave, but I am good. So I've been watching the broadcast since it started. I saw Maddie coming in with a scissor, and I was like, if I was online, I'd be like, that's not a scissor, this is a scissor. But anyway. But you guys were talking about the Plano bins that she bought, and I fell for it with Amazon, because sometimes when you buy on Amazon, they're like, oh, these are like a gift, or like for really cheap, you can get these bins thrown into your order with like no shipping cost or no shipping changes. I forget what they call it. But so, and they shipped me these ones, but they had pictured the old style. And as you can see, as Chris was showing, like the bins you have, Chris, they're all made by the Plano company. They just go under different brands.
Oh, okay.
And these old ones, which are probably about 10-ish years old, are awesome. Like they're a double spot fits 5x6 studs, I think it is, or something like that. Or I know it's at least 6 studs worth of space. So I use this heavily in my collection for storage. These ones are just crap because they've actually physically made them smaller. So I have 2 of these, and Maddie, if we ever meet up, I'll make sure I bring them with me.
All right. What color are the buckles?
These are black.
Ooh, it'll fit right nicely in with the brick red.
Oh, there you go. And these are the ones that have like the 4 rows. So.
Oh, that's smaller than the ones that I have, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely thinner than the older style. But anyway, so also I believe it is getting your space shuttle parts week, because I also got a bunch of parts from my Bricks and Pieces order, which means Bricks and Pieces is kicking out stuff in about a month now.
Yeah,
because we all ordered it around 1st of April, right, when the set became available.
Mm-hmm.
Which is awesome. I also got a Lego order in today because I wanted to get the VIP keychain thingy, which I thought was a brick, and turns out it's more like a plate, and it's obviously bigger.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh man, but still kind of cool. I probably won't actually ever use it as a keychain.
You're gonna wear it around your neck, right?
Good idea. Yeah. At a Lego convention, just be like,
yeah. Why limit to Lego conventions?
On stage.
Just with some other chains hanging off of it. Yeah. So I also last week I bought a box of figs, the Looney Tunes figs. So I've got a set set for myself, a set to throw in my store, and a set for Dave Cowdice, because he wanted to split a set with me. But when I ordered that keychain, I wanted to order something as well, and for some reason I decided to order like as many of these figs as I could. So that was like a few days before I actually bought the box, and afterwards I'm like, why did I do that? But anyways, they'll just go in my store and sell them off, I guess. But yeah, so what else? Working on a
How
couple.
is the shelf?
Sorry?
How is the shelf?
How is the shelf? Oh, the shelf is finished, but it's all the way on the other side of the room. So I can't really get a camera over there. Hold on, maybe I can do this. I can spin a camera around, though, maybe, and you can see it in the distance.
Oh, that's an interesting fact right there. According to a Lego designer, the reason they stopped showing alternate builds on the back of the box was because parents complained there were no instructions.
Of course.
It is in the shelf right there. Underneath.
Oh,
the
yes. Yeah.
Still needs some work, though. I haven't had a chance to touch it since I put it in there. Just because I want to work on a bunch of other stuff as well. So
Looks like you need more shelves.
more empty shelves?
Yeah.
I do.
Hey, hey, Jeff, do you remember back in the day?
Yes.
The Lugnet day. Back in the day.
Back in the day.
Wait. All right.
Old man moment. Woo!
I was going to say something so ironic about that. Do you remember back in the day?
Right.
Nice.
Yeah, on Lugnet.
Yes.
I don't know if it was off topic. Maybe it was on Lugnet off topic storage. There was actually a Plano subsection.
Was there really? I didn't actually find that one, but you know what? I'm going to go visit it now.
Yeah. I don't know if it survived the big crash of whatever, but yeah.
I think it did. I think everything's there. I mean, my original post from 1998-ish, 99-ish is still there. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know what that means? We should go find a certain post that was.
Jesse Allen Long? Jesse Allen Long.
Yes. That would be a great read. I have 5 things for you, Kyle. All right. I don't know where these. I got to the end of a bag and I've got 5 or 6 pieces left over, and I don't know where they go.
So, Chris, hey, Chris, FYI, when you get to step 513, there is a misprint in the instructions.
Oh, crying out loud.
And I will share it with the population here. So you get to build this little tiny lightsaber. Yeah. So you get to build this little tiny lightsaber, which is kind of cool, and it gets to go inside R2's noggin up here that you can drop it into. And the instructions actually call for it. I don't know if this will work, but not. The instructions call for you to put. It only lists, or maybe it does list the black one, but it doesn't show it. It looks like it's gray or light gray here, but that bottom one is supposed to be black. But
weird.
But it looks like it's gray in all these pictures, and so I had to look at the back of the box to see that the lightsaber actually has a little black piece on it. So, FYI, when you get to that spot, put the black one there, and then you'll be fine.
Do you think that lightsaber is scaled to R2 though? It doesn't look.
No,
right to
it's
me.
not. I actually, as I was building this and got to this point, and I knew I was getting down to the last couple bags, and I'm excited to build the little lightsaber to go in R2, and it's going to be kind of cool. And it's nowhere near the size.
Yeah. Okay.
Bomb is saying he knows somebody who sells actual metal keychains, and I have one here. I got it from Brom long ago. Got it right here, and it Lego snaps on it because Brom is Brom. So anyway.
Brom is Brom.
That's right. I've got one too, and they're awesome.
Yeah.
So is Brom still selling these?
Yes, Brom, give us a link.
Linky dinky.
And I imagine Brom is just sticking his finger to his mind and sending the data to us. I just have that vision in my head.
He's probably already hacked our computers, and it's going to just load on the screen.
That's right. We're all going to get it.
Cards belong to us.
We're all going to get one of those creepy emails when you leave something in the cart and you leave the retailer's website, and then they send you the email like an hour later. Hey, did you mean to leave this in your cart? It's getting lonely. Like, oh, creepy. Stop it. Let's go around. Let's see, Mr. Sandlin, what's up in your world today? You're muted. You're muted.
Sorry, I muted because I dumped some crackly bags out.
Your mama's a crackly dog.
Kid lion. He's got a cool like switchy mechanism in his back that connects through the neck right there.
Yeah.
So he can do chompy action. So that's pretty fun.
Yep.
And I got that when we went to the Lego store this weekend. And then, for Small Paul, we got the Shang-Chi dragon.
Nice.
That looks like a recolored, Pokemon.
It looks fierce.
Sure, and it's got lots of really good parts in it. It's all kinds of these really nice little tiles, and there's some dark red. There's some lots and lots of slopes and curves and thingies and stuff, and it's just a really nice set. I was actually impressed building it. And Small Paul only wanted it for the dragon, so he took all the minifigures and just chucked them in the floor. So I put those in bags in case Marvel collectors want them later. Maybe I'll toss them on my Bricklink store. And something Ryan Wood has been bugging me to take photos and put on Instagram. I have not yet done that, but because of the Amazon Invincible series, I had these, I don't know, some of you guys may or may not remember, Angus MacLean had cube dudes that he created many moons ago.
Yep.
So here's Invincible.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
And here is Omni-Man.
That's great.
And then
Cool.
I've also got Alan. And he doesn't have a proper cube dude head because this was all the pink I owned at the time when I built this, which was probably 12 years ago. So he's got a weird.
We still have only that amount of pink.
I have a bit more now, but this is old pink. So
Old pink.
Yeah, Paradisa pink. So yeah, that's fun. There's those guys.
Cool. Nice. Very cool. I have cube dudes. I want to show. See if anybody recognizes these cube dudes here.
By the power of Christ.
No, it's Thunder.
Yeah,
Thunder Barbarian.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. Okay.
And Ukla the Mock, which actually is the better of the three. So
That's awesome.
Yep.
Dun, 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 dun,
I
dun,
love that show, man.
You know, the most hilarious thing on that is if you watch it now is Ukla, like the sounds that he makes. It's like he's got terrible gas. Like every time he's like Ukla, do this. It's so funny. Oh, it's like it's not even like in the midst of battle. It's like, what do you want for dinner?
That's awesome. And that's another one of those cartoons when you were like 10, 11 watching it, and the artist enhanced features on the lady, and you're like, what? Anyway, so yeah.
And then he went to work on, Firestar. Yeah.
By the way, I was in
She used to do her magic, and it looked like the juice box that Maddie has.
That is true. I went to a comic book store. Jake was looking for the Fortnite Batman comic combo thing that's going on. And yeah, I know. But they had a Firestar action figure in the Marvel series. And I'm like, if I could find a Spider-Man and an Iceman right now that's coming home, but I couldn't find an Iceman or a Spider-Man I really like.
Well, originally that was a 3-pack.
Yeah.
I've seen the 3-pack for that, but I just happened to, it was like they had a couple of Firestars sitting right there. I'm like, dude. So I didn't have a lot of time, but I need that in my life. So
Jeff, didn't it come with a Miss Lion too?
Yeah, it sure does. Yeah. The single figure comes with Miss Lion too. Yeah. Chris, you can go to Big Bad Toy Store and pick those up for like $15 each. By the way.
Cool. All right, I'll do that.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Just I can remember, and now that I've got, is it Hulu, whichever one has it, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I've watched them all again, or the ones they have online.
Disney
Plus,
I
still love it.
Yeah.
I think all the monsters in my head sound like the monster in the credits. That is a classic cartoon sound, and I love it. And so that's that's the sound of monsters in my head.
Do you know what that roar is? That like at the beginning is that the fire monster has that roar, right? Where like Spider-Man goes through his mouth, which seems like a really bad idea, but whatever. That's actually the Hulk roar slowed down, which is pretty hilarious.
Is it really?
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
Hey, Janie, how are you? Good to have you here. Yes, it is.
What is it not?
Very old pink.
So I was very happy with how my Batmobile was looking, but then I also saw my old Ferrari Speed Champion and was like, well, if I want to make it a two-seater, all I got to do is rip parts out and do some things. So that's where we're going. Yeah, I'm doing the things.
Do the things.
Jeff, you got a lurker behind you there.
Oh.
Dog's fed? Dog's been fed?
No. Oh, yep. I did not feed the dogs, so I'm a horrible person.
What's with you people not feeding your animals and your children? And
I don't know, man.
Right?
Whatever at this point.
Perfect.
Yeah, I need to so this is being added in, and then the other joke is like Jar Jar Binks is so bad, even the Rancor didn't eat him, so he's still sitting there. He's not bones, so we'll add him in.
The only way that would be funnier if you made some Rancor poop and there's a head popped out of the Rancor poop. That would be. Oh, Dana. Okay, Dana's bragging a little. Stroke your droid somewhere else, please.
The only time you can stroke your droid in public and get away with it. He's such a good little dude. I like him. I actually am very impressed with this whole build. It's fantastic. Yeah. I love the fact that they got the little play feature that you can pop open the doors here for the trying to do this backwards. And then you've even got, I know Chris and I were having this discussion about that the deco on these arms in the front are a little off, but you do get where they pop out.
Yeah, a little sticker action there would make that shape really, because to me it's iconic. All R2s have that.
And then you got your little scope for when he's underwater on Dagobah. And you've got your little pop that pops up so that you can get your lightsaber to pop up. However, there's no mechanism to pop up the lightsaber. I think they could have done a little better there on that one. That's my only complaint on the play features. But the fact that his leg will go up in and out depending on where the other legs are at to bring the third leg up.
Gil is biting his lip.
I know.
I can see it. I can see it. He's biting his lip right now.
I just say things and I know that they're going to go bad, but it's the reality of things. It's a third leg. I mean, that's where it comes from. They could have done a little bit of hiding, but they didn't.
I wish that the skirt around the bottom needed to go all the way around. This
whole skirt needs to go all the way around and kind of tuck it up and make it cleaner on the inside.
So you gotta
tuck it up.
So you gotta tuck that third leg so the skirt can go around it, huh?
Are you talking about hiding your candy?
But the thing is, though, because when you do bring his legs into the upright position, you can pop the third leg. You can tuck the third leg in.
Yeah, this is like the cockpit scene in.
Anyway, you can hide the third leg, and I think that's probably why they left that open. But they still could have cleaned it up a little bit better to make it a little more seamless and transparent. But
does anybody else hear Goodbye Horses right now playing?
What's that?
So does anybody else hear Goodbye Horses playing right now? Because they're talking about tucking the third leg. Goodbye Horses.
Aren't you feeling like Jim Carrey in Pet Detective? I don't know. Anyway, but so definitely a nice little build. It's still the space shuttle with the Hubble still my favorite build so far. This is fun, but the space shuttle still is number one for this year, hands down. So,
hey, Will, good to have you here. I would say there was more in the shuttle, and I'm 3/4 of the way through the RT right here. But I would say in the shuttle, I went, holy cow, you can do that more than I could do with this.
Oh yeah, and I wonder if that's because I know Matthew is probably sweating that when he goes to ever build this because there's so much Technic, and we know that Matthew has a little Technic phobia. But it didn't seem like the Technic build in here was anything new or stellar. It just felt like any other Technic build I've done. Maybe it's just because I don't do a lot of Technic, so it always just seems Technic.
It was tedious, I'll say that.
There are some tedious spots in there. A couple things that I would have done differently for the instructions, like when you get to the point where you're putting the 1x2 plates with a Technic hole on it, so you can put a Technic pin with an axle piece to it to put the front plate and the back plates on the chassis.
Yeah.
The instructions have you put the pin in the hole after you've applied the piece to the part or to the model, and it's like that's just awkward. Put that thing in there first and then attach it. So that's just nitpicky instructions from my part, but
yeah. Well, and also to me, Lego needs to, for advanced builds, they need to put mirrored builds side by side in the instructions because if it's 18 plus, because I would lay it down and just build it all, and you can do it. They need to allow that in the thing because it's like it would make the book half the size if you could do mirrored builds together. So,
well, the one thing I gotta check because I have not built an R2D2 for the droid builders of the Star Wars costuming community, but I found it interesting that the side panels behind the legs are mirrored. I mean, so you built them at the same time as opposed to building one way and one the other way. So I'm curious to see if that is to spec or not, because I was curious. I was halfway thought that it says ×2, but I'm wondering if at some point in time I'm gonna have to flip something, and it wasn't. So I found that interesting.
Did Martin's children come and eat him? I didn't see him leave. So
he said in the private
entirely
chat,
possible.
By the way, in the private chat, I left a little.
Where that's going. I don't want to know where that's going, but anyway, go ahead.
Oh, you'll have to click the link because I have 5 questions for you, Kyle.
Oh, there it is. Should I read that on here? I mean,
you can, but you have to do it in one breath because that's how it was written.
I should do it because Janie's here, though. I mean, since we're old school, I don't want to be mean though, but it's so funny. Triple D, honey, how are you? Good to have you here.
I don't mind. I don't mind being mean.
Well, I'm trying to think of the proper nerd voice to read it in and everything. I have 5 questions for you. All right. So here's the story. When we were on the Lugnet days and it was us old guys. Oh, by the way, I'll just side note. I was on Breaking Up Brad's. I was listening to his broadcasts yesterday, and he had another TikTok guy on his YouTube broadcast. And I popped in just to say hello, and the guest kind of went fazoom. I remember trying to build his Hop Lab and Slam back in the day. This is a 25-year-old dude, so he was like 10 when I was building that stuff. I'm like, holy cow, this kid was one of those kids that was watching us, and he was complimentary. He remembers Gil. He remembers Mark. He's like, "Was it Fleebnork? Was it a Fleebnork?" And so he's remembering all this stuff. And so Brad sends me a link, and I hop into the chat. And the guy for a moment was all like, he was all super uncomfortable and weird. And I'm like, dude, you just chill. But he was a big fan in the classic space days when we had the forum and everything. And he was a super nice guy. And he was like, those guys inspired me to be nice to kids growing up doing Lego now, which was really neat to hear him say.
Was it Maticus?
That was pretty awesome and everything. So we weren't all mean, but this is mean. So
Jesse was not a kid, though. Jesse was our age.
Chris.
All right.
Yeah.
Chris.
What?
Chris.
What?
He has a question that you keep ignoring, and it's rude.
What was it, Maticus?
No. It wasn't Maticus. It was, oh gosh, I'll look it up. It's like Danny something. He's like his whole name is in there. he's new to TikTok and he's doing Lego videos and stuff. He's really nice.
Never mind.
It's not who she thought it was, basically.
Yeah,
she
it's
doesn't
okay.
care. Now she's just someone else on a juice box.
Hey guys, I'm gonna head out.
Bye.
I got some
Jeff.
kid stuff to deal with, so
Vroom,
Hey,
vroom.
yeah, we'll talk to you later. Bye.
There, bud.
Sorry. You should read it now. I'm ready.
I don't know if I can see it. It's so small. Hang on.
Oh, jeez.
Do you want me to read it?
I'll read
Grandpa,
it.
Old man?
Grandpa, do you need your other glasses?
I'm going to put it in Word and make it bigger. Thank you very much.
Oh.
You know, there is a button to zoom in your browser, right? You know?
Just
The way you look at your incognito window is different than others. That's all right. Here we go.
What?
I don't know if this stream is good for Jeff's blood pressure, man.
Jeff, where do you get your hair gel? Because I'm kind of interested.
I don't use hair gel, but thank you for pointing it out.
Neither does Matt. Don't worry about it.
See, the
What are you
difference
talking about? When I have to gel my beard to make it look this amazing.
Oh,
So-
boy.
One of the unobvious references is that Jeff will not wear a hat when his hair is like that, where I won't come on without a hat if my hair looks like that. So
What I like about Jeff is that he just owns it. He doesn't care.
exactly, that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. I'm too caught up in my pretty boy frat hair to not wear my hat backwards if I come on here if I haven't showered.
I mean, I stopped giving a shit a lot about that a while ago, so. Also,
It's helping your
I
stress.
violated one of Chris's rules. I swore. So let's see what else I can do. I hate Republicans. Man, Jesus, what a guy, supposedly. All right, there we go. Swearing politics and religion.
Jeff, you're my hero.
All right. So I'm going back to try to remember the whole context. Mark, do you remember the context of the reply?
Yes. I remember.
All right. What was it?
What it was, like Kyle had done a build, and basically someone started giving him a hard time because he had wings on the thing. And then the discussion came up at why do you need to put wings on it? And then somehow Jesse jumped in about his 2 cents about the whole thing, which took him about 10 what would normally be sentences to get to it, but instead was a stream of conscience, sort of like mental barfing about Star Destroyers and how they're wedges and why palm trees make excellent rockets. And yeah, that was the loose outline, as I recall.
Yeah. So this is an adult. These are adult fans, and all of a sudden, this kid is posting, this kid who's watching SpongeBob and stuff like that. The funniest one was whoever made the video where it just dumped that whole text into a computer reader that read it like this, and it was.
Oh yeah.
All right, here we go. So Kyle is in he doesn't build anymore. I don't think. He's a friend of ours, and he's a good guy. He got hip and cool on us, and he doesn't build anyway. But he helped us build all of our websites, and he was a good builder. All right, so here we go. I have 5 questions for you, Kyle. The first question is, do you have a real picture available of your ship and not a picture drawn on the computer? The second question is, where are the wings on your spacecraft? I apologize for not being able to appreciate some of the larger spacecraft, but I was one of the people who thought that the Star Destroyer and the Super Star Destroyer on the Star Wars saga resembled a hybrid of battleship and wedge of cheese. Almost every builder has millions of antennas and tons of bulky areas on these ships, and none of these people realize that there is friction in outer space, and were these systems
Wait. No, you gotta roll with it. You gotta roll with it.
All right. I'll save my distaste to the end.
Antennas were spelled wrong, by the way. All right, so here we go. Antennas and ton of bulky areas on these ships, and none of these people realize that there is friction in outer space, and there were these systems to be really existent in space, and that about half of the ship would disintegrate while traveling in space. I am simply saying that you need some wings on your spacecraft. I am simply saying these wings on your spacecraft. I am not saying that your spacecraft is ugly, but I am saying that this is a problem that many people fail to recognize in their designs. I do not have experience in the larger ship category, but my Gaia Federation Galaxy Destroyer is a 73 stud length spacecraft, and the Nomadic Empire Infiltrator is a 78 stud long spacecraft. The logic in the minds of the people would say,
Chris, it's not Gaia, it's Gaia.
No, it is GAEA. So I don't.
That is Gaia, not Gaia, Chris.
Okay. The logic in the minds of these people would say that I should combine these ships, but these people also fail to recognize that I only own about 10 or 15,000 Legos, perhaps not even that many Legos. I like the designs of your ship, but there is a lack of some wings on the sides of your spacecraft. If I was given more Legos, I would easily build 500 stud or longer Lego spacecraft. But as my situation is right now, I am content with the Legos I have built right now in my life. The third question.
What the hell?
Question 3?
Yeah. The third question is, why does Legoland Space and Futuron/Future World share the same logo, yet they are considered two different systems? I believe that there is a Futuron/Future World. I and Futuron/Future World 2, as with the Space Police and the Blacktron Lego sets. Do you consider my opinion to be wrong on this question? To you, Kyle?
Oh my
Pause,
god.
let me take a breath. The fourth question is...
What?
The fourth question is, why is there not an Explorians section on the Lugnet Space section? The Explorians were part of Lego Space, so I believe that they should have a part in the Lugnet Lego Space bulletin boards. The fifth question, as I am looking for a particular Lego piece that has 2 stud width and 2 stud length, is cylindrical in shape and has fins on the side that suggests that these pieces were used as either motors or bases to a rocket. Do you know how I can attain some of these pieces and the names of these pieces, Kyle? Thank you for helping me.
Oh,
Kyle.
I know what he can do with those pieces when he finds them. He can bend right on over, take one of them between 2 of his fingers, and shove them up his brown hole and call it a day.
Why are you being called Kyle?
Oh. That was the day. Those were the days.
Wait, I like his compare. He was like, "Well, my spaceship is 76 studs long. How big is yours?"
And the thing is, he brought that up all the time. Everything circled back to this super galactic whatever.
Why?
He's not related to that guy that we talk about who has the 6-foot spaceship.
No, he's grown up and he's become a cool guy. So,
okay.
But this one is 6 feet long.
Why doesn't it have wings?
I'm sure that this guy, if he had seen The Expanse, his mind would have exploded because there was no wings on any spaceships.
Well, that's because there's so much friction in space.
There is so much friction. The solar wave.
What about 2001: A Space Odyssey? Where are the wings on that thing?
I have 5 questions for you.
He become an expert in space. Has he been to space?
Because there's
he driven a spaceship?
friction, so he must.
Possibly in his mind, yes.
He probably fan fiction wrote himself into a few episodes of Star Trek. That might count.
And I hope this young man has grown to have a nice, fruitful life. But it was for us as adult fans who were already snarky and we would bust on each other and be really hard on each other. We were like, what is this?
That was some next level stuff right there.
That was something.
But to be fair, so we're not being, complete monsters or whatever. Jesse was not a kid. He was like older. He was like probably older teen or something.
Yeah.
An older on the spectrum person?
Well, no, I don't think so. I just think he was.
Oh, come on.
I just think he was.
Was he old enough to have had natural science in high school? Or
Is he the one that
I just
answered?
think he was like extremely awkward. Extremely awkward.
Was he the one that argued with the "I am a Halo champion"? Was that the same thread? Gosh, who was that guy?
No, that was somebody else.
Yeah.
Or that one time on SpongeBob. Remember? Somebody's having an adult conversation on the internet and trying to give an example to us adults, and he says that one time on SpongeBob when King so and so did something or other, and we're like, no.
Yeah, it's like a Tom Hall in the moment kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chris, did we just completely skip over the fact that there was a cool whole weird thing going on Saturday in Lego stores, and we're just not talking about it, or we're just going to skip over it? We can. It's all right.
Are you talking about the Star Wars-y thing?
The Star Wars-y thing, because I have no interest whatsoever in the Star Wars-y stuff that goes on.
Yeah, because if you were really interested, you would have come in costume.
You mean the Mega Force be with you? Da, da, da.
And Matthew was May 1st, not May the 4th. That's tomorrow.
You all
So
have
are you going to be in costume for your conference calls?
You know what?
I want a screenshot.
Well, the only problem is I never actually do. None of my conference calls are video conference calls.
Now, this is the time to start, and they will forever remember you.
Well, no, there was one conference call that I did join in because we were told, nice cat butt shot, by the way.
Thank you.
Cat butt!
Right. I did actually join a conference call because I was told that because we now transferred to a new company and that we needed to start using video for our conference calls and stuff like that. So I joined, and I didn't stop and think about the fact of what my background looked like. And I got, as soon as I joined in, and I was like one of the only people, the newer people who joined in, and I got like 4 instant messages with like in 2 seconds, dude, your office is awesome. Did you realize what you got? And I was like, video stop.
Nice.
So I did I had a moment's notice. I did think about this evening that I almost went down to the basement, got my Jedi garb, threw it on with the hood just for this evening's episode. So throw up the fail. I know. I failed. I failed, guys.
Yeah.
Way to let all of us down all at once.
I know. Maybe I'll make it up to you on Thursday. Who knows?
All I know is I have to wear a big brown stupid robe tomorrow on Beyond the Brick. Can't wait for that.
Hey, Haley, how are you? Good to have you here.
Is it your own big brown robe, or did you have to go get it? Or
No. My late grandmother made it for me because I went as a Jedi for Halloween a couple of times, and I don't know if you guys know this or not. There's only one fat person in Star Wars, and his name is Porkins. And rather than having a flight suit made, I had a robe made.
I actually find that whole story very endearing. I don't care what anybody else tells you. I think that's awesome.
I would like to. So I've always said that, like, I've always, enjoyed cosplaying. I used to cosplay as a Ghostbuster, and I would really love to. Like,
say your Nana loved you.
She did. She very much so did.
What about the fat guy in the sequel trilogy? That's J.J. Abrams' buddy, who's like in all of his movies.
Oh, you mean that guy that doesn't count because it's part of the worst sequel trilogy of all time?
Yeah, that guy. That guy who has an action figure, so he's real.
Yeah, he was also in Star Trek.
Snap, by the way, so I don't know if that makes it any better or worse.
The funny thing is, he looks exactly like our friend Stever, who used to be into Lego way back in the Lugnet days.
Really?
Yep,
he does.
And Gil knows who we're talking about.
And Will says, "What about Jabba?"
But Jeff, just ignore Matthew. But you need to Google. You need to Google, and it's. I don't know. Is Filk? Is that what it is? Is that the music for cosplay or whatever? And I forget the guy's name, but if you Google "Too Fat to Troop," there's a great song dedicated to Porkins. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Okay, Googling it right now.
Yeah.
Can I just say that I understand. I have a strong resemblance to Porkins. I get it, and I always kind of play that up.
Could ever have. You do, yes.
I play that up, but I one time just put Porkins as my Facebook, icon or avatar or whatever, And I had like people go, man, you have a cool helmet, you know, kind of stuff. That doesn't hurt. That doesn't hurt at all. Thank you.
It's the same thing I get when I put breadsticks.
What?
Well done.
Question is, where are the wings on your space? I apologize for not being able to appreciate some of the larger spacecraft, but I was one of those people who thought that the Star Destroyer and the Super Star Destroyer in the Star Wars saga resembled a hybrid battleship and a wedge of cheese. Almost every builder has millions of antennas and tons of bulky areas on
All right, Gil, you gotta stop, man. You gotta stop.
There is friction in outer space, and where these systems to real exist.
Listen to it. No,
No,
go.
I don't want to. It was bad enough when I had to listen to Chris doing it. And at least I like Chris. That computer voice is horrible.
Oh, okay.
Those were the days, man. All right, hey guys, I'm gonna jet. You guys want to keep on going? You guys can. I'll leave Mark with the con. I got to go pick up the kiddo. But I'll go ahead and say thank y'all. But I think everybody will continue on for a little bit. Good to have you all tonight. Glad to see you. Clean up before you leave, or I don't want to
Did
call
you
your
just
mom.
say you're going to leave Mark with the con?
I am.
did.
I did.
Where's the nerd thing? Roll the nerd thing. Do it.
Hey, I'll do you one better. I'll push the glasses up, man.
Boom, there it is. All right.
Hey, if you don't say, never mind.
Chris,
Jeff,
Chris, now you understand how I feel 90% of the time with our conversations in the instant messaging chat that we have going on. Right there.
Yeah, but at least it's not as entertaining as a cat butt. So we have.
This is true. This is true. This is why I close the door so I don't give you guys too much cat butt or tail in my face.
If all of a sudden you had 5 cat butts lined up in a row, that would be amazing television right there.
I was over it. I'm sorry. He was just knocking stuff over.
The closest I can get to all 5 cats at the same time is when I feed them. So no, I don't think I could actually get 5 cat butts in a row unless I Photoshop them all together, which maybe I'll do for your birthday next year.
Man, we need like Marlon Perkins for this conversation.
All right, I'll see you guys. Thank y'all for joining us. Y'all hang out still. We got lots of viewers, lots of folks in the side chat. Love you guys. See you later.
See you, man.
I almost hit end broadcast. Sorry.
So, Dana, what did happen this Saturday?
Now that he's gone. So, all right. So let's just talk about just briefly the fact that it was May the 4th be with you. Promotion started on May 1st. The Lego servers, of course, in their infinite despectacularization, were crashing at midnight as per usual. People complaining about that all over the place. And then when I went to go to one of our 2 Lego stores that's local to meet up with Mark and Chris and Matt and probably 7 or 8 of other Lug members, I got there at 9:30 when the store opens at 10, and there had to easily be, 75 people in line, give or take? By the time that 10 o'clock rolled around, and they let us into the mall a little earlier than 10, by the time they let us in and the store actually opened probably at 10 o'clock, there easily had to be well over 100 people in that line. Easily.
Well, they were handing out numbered slips for R2s. I was number 17.
Yeah.
And there were clearly people in front of us who were not buying R2D2. So
right. So there were people who were there for other things, because I think there were some other things that came out other than just Star Wars sets. Isn't that the case? Yeah. Mark getting the Shang-Fi. Hey guys. Shang-Chi. Sorry. I was wearing a anyway. But anyway, so long lines. One of our lug members actually gave up his number to allow somebody else to have it, which was cool, because he's like, I'll get it later. It's no big deal. So he gave up his number. And I think from what I heard when I talked to our other store, they got 46 copies. So I'm pretty sure that the Sugarloaf store also had probably around 46 copies. And all the numbers were handed out before the store opened at 10. So they had already officially sold their full run. When I got to the North Point store, Shang Fu, there we go. When I got to the North Point store at noon, they still had a line 6 or 7 stores down, and they had sold out of their R2s at 11:45, and there I was at noon, and they still had a long line. So crazy numbers that morning. Now, Matthew, you showed back up to Sugarloaf at what, noon, 1 o'clock, was it?
Yeah, so our local store had done pre-orders where if you put $5 down, they would reserve the helmets for you. So I had reserved each of the 2 new helmets in the Probe Droid, but I forgot my piece of paper to show that I had the reservation. So I went back to the store at 12, and this one opened at 10. So 2 hours after the open, there were all of 5 people in the store. So there was this huge wave that crested probably by 11:15, and then it was dead. But I mean, to me, this brings back a topic that I've raised before: is Lego intentionally moving to the movie release formula of trying to create this event feeling where people will get in line and it's all about the opening release day, and they're selling a tremendous amount of product on the first day? Is this intentional or just accidental? I don't know.
Well, and then the other question that ties in with that is the GWP for these events, because while they did the micro scale Tatooine set that you could get online, so you didn't have to go to the store, but then they did the polybag with a little Imperial shuttle that you could only get in the store. Now, I don't know if that shuttle, it seems weird that that's going to be an exclusive only for May the 4th, because it's a polybag with common pieces. So I kind of almost see that set hitting Target or wherever down the line. I'd be surprised if it doesn't, but maybe they did just do it for May the 4th. But the GWP has always been kind of that reason to go on May the 4th, even though they did this May the 1st. I mean, they ran out of their May the 4th GWPs on May the 1st, not even making it to May the 4th. And that's probably because it's a Tuesday, so they figured, well, we'll cash in on the weekend kind of thing. In the past, sometimes if Saturday was the 4th, they did it on the 4th, which I prefer when they do that. But that coming in to the store for the GWP, I think is probably a bigger draw than the release date of a set that you can get all year round.
The one thing I gotta say is, like, the controversy of trying to drum up the interest and all that aside, just listening to this, like, to me, it sounds like some weird, unrelatable experience, because, like, I can't even imagine people being permitted to line up for anything, let alone like several hundred. Like, it just, like, and I mean, I'm not being sort of like, facetious, or, well, not much, but I mean, it seems like whenever I hear this now, like it seems like something from some other strange time. Like I can't even imagine a company. I mean, even the U.S. has done very well and all this stuff, but, and this is kind of related to it, I can't imagine them at a time when 40% of the country is still not vaccinated, or even less is fully vaccinated. You're promoting something that encourages people to line up and to come to the store. Like, it seems a little odd.
Well, I will say this, that at both stores, when I went into both of them, everybody in line was 100% masked.
But the thing is, my understanding is that most places in the U.S., there's no mandate. Like, it's people are asked to do it, right?
Right.
So,
No. It's dependent on the store and the business. The business has the right to say you're not allowed in if you're not wearing a mask.
What about the people waiting outside? They're not in the store yet.
Outside, you didn't have to wear a mask, but when you came in, the mall requires masks, the Lego store requires masks, the grocery store requires masks. When I go to the grocery store, 95% of the people are wearing masks. So it's not as though it's the Wild West. Yeah, now, when I was in rural Tennessee, only a third of the people in Walmart wore masks. But here in the suburbs, the compliance
depends heavily on where you are, because, like, the owner of Atlanta Brick Company doesn't ever wear a mask. So it just really depends on where you are.
Yeah, it does.
But, but that just goes back a little bit to what you're saying, like this, the idea that draw up interest at any cost, whether it's a health issue or whether it's an annoyance issue, like in, the before times or the after times, to create this sort of like mania. It seems just
Well,
a little distasteful. I don't know.
Well, and I know where you're getting at here, and I have some interesting stuff to add on top of that, because I did talk to the assistant manager at the second store, which is in it. Not to say that it is a little more higher income area where the second store is. And one of his comments is that they've been getting killed by the other store for foot traffic.
Mm.
And Matthew, you and I both know where the two stores are and the demographics in those areas. And it's kind of interesting. And I kind of jokingly said, well, you've got more of a, now we're going to talk politics for a second, more of a Republican issue thought process over in one side and more of a Democratic process on the other, where maybe the ones where they're more of the Democratic thought process are like, I'd rather shop online, so I'm not going to go to a store, versus the other one that seems to be a little more lower income, so they're maybe a little more Republican-ish and thought, we don't care, so we're just going to go.
I don't even know that it's so much party differences, because Alpharetta used to be pretty Republican because it was a high income area. Right. I'm wondering how much of it is education and wealth, because if you go to my store, you get more middle class shoppers who come in than when I worked at Alpharetta. I mean, we had people come in and drop $400 on Lego all the time and not blink an eye. My guess is that Sugarloaf, which is more middle class, probably doesn't see those quite as many of those customers.
I think you're right about the cost of living demographic versus political sway. So yes,
but I think also too what plays into, like, here the politics, thankfully for the most part, has not been part of the whole thing. But what is a big part of it is people who are generally lower income. They're called essential workers. So they've been going to work this whole time, right? And since they're going to work the whole time, they're like, I got to go to work tomorrow anyway. So what's the big deal between going here and going here? So they're actually out and about more often, right? Using more services in person, just because they have to do it regardless, right? So they tend to be, and maybe that's the case there to a degree, that you know, these are people who are used to essentially going about their daily lives, more or less. So
the one thing, I mean, I would say extremely careful for 13 months, and it's been almost a month now since I got my second shot. And I live in the United States, where there's going to be a percentage of people who never get vaccinated. And for me, I've made the decision, once I got 2 weeks past my vaccination date, that I'm going to go out and do stuff. And you know, everybody has to make some choices. A week ago, Tuesday, I went to the Atlanta United Major League Soccer, which is 50% capacity, but I don't know what it holds, 80,000 people. There were about 35,000 people there. People were wearing masks on the concourse, but when you sat in the stands, you could take your mask off to eat food, which I did. And honestly, I did not stress about it. You know, I'm as protected as I can get. If I get sick, it's going to be mild. It's not going to kill me. And if that happens, that blows. But my life's going to go on, and I'm just not going to stay home all the time.
Well, you
can't.
Well, the thing is, though, is if you're carrying the virus, say you're vaccinated like you are, okay? And, you know, that's great. You know, Ted or Tom or whoever who, you know, lives in the trailer park home with, you know, 800 kids out front and a lawnmower constantly going and all that, who doesn't get vaccinated. I'm not trying to shape anybody into a hole here, but you know, you run the risk of infecting them if you have it, even if you're immune to it because of the vaccine.
Jeff, have you seen Idiocracy?
Yes.
Okay, Jeff, let me respond to that. The data on the vaccine shows that if you're vaccinated, you're actually less likely to transmit it to someone else than if you're unvaccinated. So yes, there is the chance that as a vaccinated person, I could transmit it, but there's less of a chance than if I were not vaccinated. So
I understand that completely.
Yeah.
I 100%. I'm with you. Just like the thing, the bitch of it is, hey Chris, I said bitch. The bitch of it is 3 times is that Emily is immunocompromised, right?
Yeah.
So like when it comes to that stuff, like I got my first shot and I was like, oh man, I can finally take my mask off in like, 2 weeks or whatever when I get my second one. Got a Shmata, and she was like, well, what about your highly contagious, girlfriend?
Yeah.
And I went, oh. Well, so it's kind of one of those too, where like I didn't even think about people with that deficiency, or I don't want to call it a deficiency, but it is what it is. And
vulnerability,
yeah.
Well, because Jeff, I'm in the same scenario. Like, for example, I'm getting my shots, but my wife is not, because if there's a chance of there being a side effect for a medication, she gets it. So we don't even bother trying to do anything. So, but it makes sense for me to get the shot because I'm the one going out into the world to not bring it home. But all that being said, and we're all in the same place, is that when it comes time to going someplace where I won't wear a mask is when I know the people I'm with have all been vaccinated, versus if I'm going to the store, I'm still going to wear my mask because I'm still being socially conscious. I care about my neighbors. I care about some people, whether I even know them or not. And that's kind of how we have to look at it.
That's basically. So like we're getting rid of our D&D group. Hey, I play Dungeons and Dragons, so that way I'm a super nerd.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm shocked.
Are you? But
not really. Maybe we should have an Old Brick D&D night.
Okay. Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to play D&D as a kid because of Satan.
Well, that's whole Tom Hanks movie.
Monsters and Mazes.
Go away just because you didn't play D&D.
We'll still accept you.
Yeah. All right. So, we're talking about, well, it's time to get the gang back together, get the band back together because we're all vaccinated. And the kid in the group, the 16-year-old that we allow to hang out with us because we're those super cool guys, is like, well, my mom won't let me get vaccinated. And I just thought to myself, I would get emancipated like immediately from this woman. Like I would just, Mom, who? Like she doesn't believe in science. She's a crazy Christian lady. Not that I'm saying all Christians are crazy. Don't go there with it.
There is so much going on. The fact that he's playing D&D, it's awesome.
Yeah. His grandpa plays D&D, so there you go. And like
it's a generation.
It's sad that we could be that grandpa. That's really sad.
Oh, why did you have to go and do that?
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, Rich is old enough. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, don't jump out of that boat, my friend. We're all in there.
No.
That's mathematically, I'm old enough to have a 20-year-old, but that 20-year-old would have a 2-year-old who's not old enough to play D&D.
Oh no, Matthew, you're older. You're older than mathematically to have a 20-year-old.
Random encounter. Centaur.
Well, at what age am I having a baby
18.
here?
Well, because realistically, I'm old enough to have a 30-year-old, so you could have a 30-year-old as well.
Yeah.
That's me.
See, we had this conversation.
Is the 10-year-old playing D&D?
In certain areas of the country,
I have not watched Stranger Things.
You should just refuse to answer that on the grounds that it could incriminate you.
Yeah. Now, granted, maybe the 10-year-old playing D&D with the 30-year-olds is a little much, but no, you could have a 10-year-old great-grandchild who is playing D&D.
Not a great-grandchild. Let's not stretch this. Let's not stretch this.
You could have a grandchild playing D&D.
So when are we playing?
When am I getting a grandchild?
No. When
are we having old great D&D?
Yeah.
Can we Zoom that? I think we should Zoom
we can Zoom
not Zoom it, but StreamYard it too.
Roll 20.
Roll 20.
Roll 20.
I thought though that Mark, you've done it before, like 2 ways, right? With the Roll 20. Then I thought you guys also did like a hybrid game.
We use Roll20 for the maps. We don't use the video feature built into Roll20 because some of our players are technologically inept and couldn't figure out how to all of them talk into a single mic while also using their computers at the same time. And it was like,
so as long as we take care of this for Chris, we could probably use that.
Exactly. As long as Chris is on board with things and he knows how the magic of electronics works, we'll be all right. Yeah.
Did you see what Chris put in the chat? That's
Yes.
what we should call this D&D game. Maddie's Daddies.
Older brother. Older brother.
or uncle or something like that.
Older
That's-
brother.
Oh
Maddie's
my
uncles
God.
isn't creepy at all.
No, that's not
Actually,
creepy
I don't know
at
which
all.
is creepier, Maddie's uncles or Maddie's daddies. Either one of them is just equally.
Yeah.
What about Maddie's gay uncles? That's a lot. That's good.
That's totally safe. Yeah,
That's
it's
safe.
totally safe. Yeah.
It makes me think of the movie Uncle Frank
And Frank.
and Frank.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh,
Okay.
Mark, I'm going to do it for you. Can we land this now?
I have one question. I have a question for our Canadian across the border. So the United States had this whole culture built up around Black Friday with this insanity for 20 years where people would literally fight each other in stores in order to buy things the day after Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, not Canadian Thanksgiving, which is the correct time to have Thanksgiving, I want to point out. But anyways, so I'm curious to get your Canadian perspective. Is this trend towards building a massive turnout at the Lego store, is that something uniquely American? Is that something that Canadians are like, what is up with those people south of the border?
No. Actually, for us, in a lot of ways, it tends to be even worse.
Okay.
Because our whatever it is, whether it's retail, whether it's I don't know, why don't we call it vaccinations? Yeah, everything is in really short measure because we just, huge country, small population, concentrated in urban areas and stuff. So basically, no matter what it is, if it's got any sort of popularity to it, it's a nightmare. I've stated with my wife that I will never, ever go to Toronto again for any kind of thing that has general seating, anything which is basically, again, a day launch of anything, whether it's for purchase or viewing, nothing. After waiting in line for 7 hours at the Christmas Village 3 years ago. Yeah. 7 hours because just to get in, just to wait into the line to get in, to buy an $11 9-day-old hot dog. Yeah. So that's what Toronto's about.
My favorite kind.
Oh, that was an ornament. Gil, that was an ornament. You were not supposed to eat that.
By that time it was. Yeah. But anyway, yes. But that whole
for decoration only, there wasn't some sort of signage on there.
It was shiny. It was peppermint.
No wonder it tasted terrible.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that it's the whole supply and demand thing, which is what I think is what drives us to go on opening day here.
No.
It's the same scenario.
And
it's just that they're really bored because the winters are so long.
Well, yeah. Well,
they're willing to stay.
that the Lego enthusiasts are heavy in the northern states in Canada because it's so cold for 60-75% of the year.
80%.
So they're staying indoors and doing that. But one quick statistics. The shop at home GWP sold out, I think, by noon-ish on Saturday, and I think most of the stores sold out of their GWPs on Saturday as well. So again, it goes back to that. If you had stayed at home and said, "Oh, I'm going to wait till Sunday or Monday or Tuesday," you would have missed out on if you were looking to get that. A la Maddie looking to get one secondhand.
Yeah, the GWP on eBay right now is going for like $40-50.
Yeah. Well, there was a few years ago. The GWP on May the 4th was the Space Slug set, and they only did limited numbers of the sets. And if you didn't get the set by like 11, they pulled whatever they had, and that was it. So it was like a 2-hour window to get that GWP, and it wasn't available online. It was only in the store.
$200 to get it.
You had to spend $200 to get it, and that GWP went up as $350 to $400 on the secondary market.
And trust me, I was an employee, and I really tried to sweet talk my manager into letting me buy it with the employee discount. And
Because
he was
we know
like,
Matthew loves his GWP
he's
secondary
like,
market.
if you want this one, you got to pay full price, and you got to spend the $200. And I'm like, what if it's like an employee of the month gift? He goes, no. He's like, I have to account for every single one. He had to send back to Lego any that were not awarded.
And
So you
normally, correct me if I'm wrong, Matthew, but normally the GWPs are automatically given to store employees. But
That's a new thing.
yeah.
They were not automatically giving them to us at that point.
Oh,
That
okay,
happened
okay.
after that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
more
guys,
ranking power.
we really have to.
We are literally at the 2-hour mark.
We're at 2 hours, so all of you can feel free to hang around backstage after we close this out. But thank you to everybody in the chat, including Chris, who is now in the chat. He said he'd do some D&D with us, so it's right there.
I got it.
Thank you,
got
Matthew, for the attractive Chinese lady on your drink box. And
Strike a pose.
Matthew has the official message for us. So, good night,
That's all,
everybody.
folks.
Thanks for joining
Gosh, it's always
on
been
Old